Hey everyone, welcome back.
What's up, party
Ready to
people?
go. Yeah, the Korean casters actually broke something apparently, so that's why they needed time. But they usually also take a 10-minute break, so they didn't have to admit that.
Like, oh yeah, we gotta take a break. Tell them, I don't know, we fucking broke something. I don't know.
Right? But yeah, we're here. It's the first semifinal. I think the plan is to do both, but as I said before, that was wrong last time, so I hope we do both because they both look really cool. It's just a best of threes. It is still a weekly, however, and the first map is Frost. In the bottom right, as the Blue Terran, he is Ryung.
And his opponent, the Foreign Force of Terror. Staying in Korea, living in Korea, and playing here in Korea, it is Neeb.
Korea.
Also, would like to note that Reality was the one who ended up beating Lucier 2-0, so Beyond and Reality fight off TVT in the other semifinals. And I'm kind of hoping he wins, because I think a PvT finals is going to be a lot more interesting, but at the same time, everybody left is so good, I think we're going to get good games no matter what the combination of finals ends up being. Like, whether it's Ryung versus either Beyond or Reality, or Neeb versus either Beyond or Reality. I think any of those combinations make for a great best of 5.
Thanks to Finalius for the 26-month resub.
Dang, long time sub.
Huh?
First time writer. I would like to also mention too that we are, or at least myself, am on a bit of a clock. In about 1 hour from now, I'm gonna have to leave to go get my X-rays. So I will unlikely be able to finish the cast with Zombie Girl, but it luckily isn't that much left. So I know she's a trooper, and you got this.
Thanks for the support. Reminder that if you have recently hit the 12-month mark on your Partoofs, by the way, to please make sure to actually put yourself on the document. If you don't have the document, then message BaseTradeTV.
Yeah, I'll say today's probably your last chance for cutoff, and then
Yeah.
you'll have to wait another month. So.
Yep. So get going. I have one other thing to mention, but I can't remember. So I'm just gonna continue with this game casting. All right then.
That segue was pretty fantastic.
Yeah,
Thanks.
Thanks. I've been forgetting a lot of stuff lately. I don't know why. I guess.
Like my birthday, for example, I was just one day of the year you had to remember. You couldn't even remember.
I actually not only remembered your birthday, but got you a present.
I know. That's actually a fantastic present too. And I think
yes, screw you. Anyway.
I don't feel like screw you is the appropriate response to me saying thank you,
always
but
is.
you know.
So the probe here was just buying time to not be caught by a Reaper, which is pretty clever of Neeb. Still doesn't really get a scout, however, like that much. It sees a one rack expand. You know, that's kind of the most you're gonna see anyway. So take what you can get. Might try and hide it up north for some shenanigans. Might just hide it up there to have some place for a probe to hide out. You know, for proxy pylon or emergencies or I don't know, but we'll see. A robo is probably going to come down right now, so I don't know if it's gonna be. I mean, it could be a dark shrine. Get the war prism, and in fact, the proxy pylon, I would say it is a dark shrine. So that's gonna be a big mix-up. Ryung's gonna get some type of scout, either with his Reaper or his Widowmine drop, and he's gonna say if everything looks pretty normal, except there's gonna be like one thing that's a little bit off, like the gas timing or something like that, that you don't really notice when you're in the heat of battle trying to micro your Marines and whatnot, and you might not realize that there's a dark shrine. But it's still like maybe it's not. I can't go over anymore. Hold on, I got this. There we go.
Boom.
Nope, I can't go up anymore.
Well, Dark Shrine coming out of Neeb.
Stuck.
I'm actually gonna go ahead and say a little unconventional because we're actually not used to Neeb doing cheesy moves like this. Not to say that he can't or never does, but for him, I think most of the time you're more likely to see an Adept all in with a Warp Prism than necessarily a Dark Shrine hidden somewhere in the corner of middle of nowhere.
I agree. This is probably why he's doing it, or he's really just sour about that one game he lost, and it's like, if only I got a Dark Shrine. I'm gonna get a Dark Shrine every single time now. Oh, I remember what I was gonna mention, because it might be a TVT finals, and it's of course semifinal TVT in the other half. Oh, a little bit awkward here. I was gonna mention, like, what if we had not been Terran players, and we'd been casting the Olimoleague for a year and a half? Would we just hate this? Would we literally hate the Olimoleague? Because we didn't really enjoy that period of time where we cast nothing but ZVZs. As Terran players.
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I don't think I would hate it because even when we get like high-level ZVZs as non-Zerg players, we still respect and enjoy that gameplay. So I don't think we would hate it.
It's a decent point. Yeah, it's decent. Anyway, Ryung not able to do very much.
I think
So.
actually a lot of the game at this point, when we're casting Koreans, is more about who's playing. And when we're casting about foreigners, it's about what's playing.
Maybe. Well, I said not doing very much, but then I was going to go on about how at least he has the drop alive, and then he lost most of the drop. Oh, this is Widom. I thought it was Liberator. My bad. That could have gotten a much better shot. Instead, only killed 3 probes, so not a big deal. It missed too much. DT drop does commence, however, and this missile turret, while it is up and running, doesn't cover quite everything. Bit unfortunate to lose a DT like that, and then like this. Oh, what? No, that's not how that was supposed to happen. I was like, is something else? Was something else going on? No, like Neeb had cleaned up everything. There wasn't a Liberator, there wasn't a second medevac drop, and he should have been entirely focused on the DT drop, but that just went terrible. He still got a couple SCVs, and a couple scans. But yeah, that wasn't too good. At least saving the Warp Prism. At least. And not able to do that does leave Ryung feeling quite cheery, probably. I know that if I kill a DT, that's great. If I kill the Warp Prism, that's like 1,000 times better.
Yeah. It's the teach a man to fish versus teach a man to not DT versus eat a DT. I'm not sure how this analogy is going to work. But it makes sense. It makes sense, okay?
I mean, I kind of see where you're going with that. It's like, teach a man to fish and he'll live forever. He'll have something to eat forever. But if you just give him a fish, he'll eat a day.
He'll live forever?
Yeah, he'll live forever. Yeah. He'll eat...
Can't catch me again.
Why can't I figure out the phrase? Because it's give a man a fish, he'll eat for a day. Teach a man to fish, he'll eat for life or something like that. There you go. That's it. So anyways, you know, kill a DT, Warp Prism will come back. Kill a Warp Prism, DTs will never come back? That's not necessarily true, though.
This is still not working. This is getting off.
No, I tried to help you, I'm sorry. The DT, it can just walk in, you know, it can deny a third base, it can, you know, get into the SCV line when there's not enough to kill it, and still get like 4 or 5 SCVs, so that's not over. But the Warp Prism really shouldn't have died, is the kind of the end result. Ryung tried to take advantage of his moment of relief from harassment, or from thinking there could be any harassment at all, but it didn't get anything done. Again, these drops are being deflected, and of course, Neeb, I love the cannon. That's of course a very common drop point for Terrans. Up here, just anticipated the draw. Oh my goodness, nobody put the... Okay, we're good.
Oh, it's still got a hit, though. It's not dying breath. Barely, but got the hit.
Ooh, blink is done. Nope. Perfect spot. What's this? Okay, just a small little task force. Ryung can take the forward third base. Which, in cross spawn, I guess it doesn't really matter. This is a little more obnoxious to get stalkers up here, but... Here he's gonna be able to rally to his defense, which is nice. Nice eyes on that DT. Cleans it up, and Neeb really hasn't done a lot with those. But it's always gonna be available. Ryung's probably never gonna take the time to go look for the Dark Shrine.
Yeah, not anytime soon at least. And there's no real reason to either. I mean, you don't necessarily go sniping DTs. Scans work just fine if you're paying attention, if the engagements are right. We're also past the point in the game where Ryung necessarily needs to be dropping mules all the time. He's gonna have scans available.
Yeah, he's at pretty perfect SCV count, really. But not
my only concern would actually
here.
be if he stops paying attention at home.
No. He does try and leave now. Well, this is a little concerning. Neeb has a 20 army supply lead. He's not going to have as good of upgrades as Ryung, and that's one thing going for this guy. There's like a Widowman jump or something going to happen over here. Whoa, another Warp Prism was made. This does have nothing but a depths. Scan goes down to see where the army's going. Did not chase it, and he should be fine with the Liberators. Should be. I don't know, though. Huh. This drop's gonna bring back a portion of the army, and it's only 3 Liberators. Oh no, he pulls back all the army. Oh dear, no.
He's kind of abandoned the Liberators, but Neeb hasn't realized that yet.
Okay, well, it's a good thing he realized that wasn't the right way to do things.
Widow Mines and the main do pop off and shut down the Adepts, though. That ends up working out really nicely for Ryung, actually.
Yeah, the
Warp Prism
goes
dies.
down. But, oh, the Liberators didn't move. So now one of them's gonna go down. Actually, or none of them will, but they're not in a great position.
One DT on that front line, by the way, getting a lot of damage done. I don't think Ryung's realized it yet. Only because he accidentally walks too close to the missile turret does it get taken out.
Ryung has bridged the supply gap here. He's going to get an Archon on the backside too, and the Liberators are just barely covering enough to not have this game end right then and there. 2 more join the party as well, so they're going to be able to cover the backside. Observer is sniped, so Neeb doesn't have that all-seeing knowledge about where the Liberators are going to siege up, and he does have to kind of retreat. A 4th week's on the way. He's getting upgrades, which he was missing. Now he'll have a bit of a lead, and advances tech to Colossus, and another upgrade on the way. So Ryung holds, basically. That's what it comes down to. That's what he needed to do. That's what he was almost not going to do had he split up his army.
Chat's reaction to us not nailing the analogies, by the way.
I really blame you for that. I shouldn't have helped you.
I should not have gotten involved with trying to pull you out of the fire. I should just let you burn and die. Well, thank you for being a good co-caster and helping me out. I appreciate it.
I mean, what did I really do? I just made both of us look like idiots.
I quote ZG the wordsmith from chat. I like Maynard's actually. I'm gonna use this from now on. A DT in the hand is a 2 in the bush.
That was so good analogy.
Killing 1 bird with 2
it's
DTs
so
in the
dumb,
bush.
because I knew where you were going with it, but it just doesn't. It doesn't work out.
It fell apart. All right, so the army supplies are matched pretty nicely. The upgrades actually aren't even that bad either. No real discernible tech advantage, but we are approaching that situation once again where we're seeing Colossus introduced back into the game, and the question of like whether Liberators are ever enough to deal with it. And I feel unless you've snowballed with your Liberators, you're rarely going to have enough to just sit on top of the Colossus, ignore everything else, and shoot them down.
Oh no.
And especially when they're caught in the middle of the map like this. Nice catch out of Neeb, gets to the Liberators right away. Widowmine's still going to pose a bit of a problem, so he does have to back away from this.
Literally checking Ryung's vision, realized he didn't have the Zonaga fast enough to see that army. 2 more Liberators go down. 3 now with a very small bio army. I think Neeb could take this. He's just a little bit scared of the Widowmines.
Just accidentally killed one of his own stalkers.
Brilliant.
I like that blink back though. Only 1 Liberator remains, and again, a lot of this is going to start going towards these higher tech units. The Liberators for the Terran, the Colossus for the Protoss, and for what it's worth, Neeb ends up, in my opinion, taking a better fight because of the Liberators here removed from the equation.
I think he has blink because he's an observer.
Right? At some point, he's going to have to stop making Colossus and make an observer.
He does have 2 robos. Maybe he just doesn't hotkey the other one yet. No, you already have a Dark Shrine. What's up?
His proxy was too good. I guess he assumed it would have been taken out by now. But no, Ryung's going to pincer him in on this. Big catch from that backside. That Colossus is not going to be enough. He does take out the Liberator, but he's winning on the right side while he loses on the left side. Now fully surrounded and SCV's brought into the fight. Neeb has to consolidate and focus fire 1/2 of this army so he can focus on the other later. This is actually a little bit awkward for Neeb, but really good for Ryung. But the backside of the army finally removed from the equation.
He managed to somehow dance his way out of that. I have no idea. How did he do that? He's gonna win the game now.
Yeah, I think the SCV pull is what really ended up making that too sour at the very end of it.
That was seriously like such an awkward situation. I really thought Ryung's surround would have done it, but Neeb just with enough focus fire and stutter step and whatever else you want to call it, but.
I mean, I liked what Ryung did there. His thought process, it was very clear that he was trying to set up that pincer. He wanted to hit 2 angles. Everyone knows it's a good way to take on Colossus, but unfortunately, it just didn't work out. And as you said, somehow magically danced out of it to victory. GG. Neeb will take that first game.
Yes. Yes, he will. Off the back of some pretty mediocre War Prism play, which is a little bit odd, because that's usually where we compliment Neeb the most, but sacrificing maybe War Prism play for a better looking mid-late game? Because that, a couple weeks ago, he was not doing so hot against mass Liberators at the end. He was taking his time getting Colossus and stuff, so whatever he focuses on, whatever it works, he ends up getting the win. Next map is going to be Ryung's choice. We still send that to Olimoleague.
In the meantime, people in chat asking, why aren't y'all streaming Legion? Well, this is a StarCraft stream. I know that might be a weird concept to grasp, but actually, we did stream Burning Legion yesterday.
Hey!
Got it on our first try, too. I'm actually really proud of that.
Yeah. I'm gonna be honest and say that I don't really get watching people play MMOs. Even if they're like in a raid that's really important or they're trying to break a record.
I actually
So-
watch a couple different because I watch
I know
Vinriki
you
for
do.
arenas and I watch Slutbag for rating. And what I enjoy about it is they definitely know more about the game than me. When I used to be only WoW and all the time, I do fucking everything. I would never need to watch another stream. But I love because they bridge that gap of knowledge that I don't have anymore.
I guess saying I don't know, I don't see the whatever I said. What did I even say? The thing is like I can kind of get it because I was also gonna go with sometimes it is just really like a lot of people just like listening to Twitch streams like totally chill, right? And getting the chat interactivity that you can get when playing slower games and whatnot. But it's not for me. I guess is more where I was going with it. So I have a hard time believing that I could
You're-
stream it.
Too hardcore is what I'm understanding.
Maybe. But yeah, I have a hard time believing that I could stream it, so actually seeing someone ask, like, why aren't we streaming it is like... It kind of boggles my mind. Anyway. Frozen Temple ended up being the Terran's choice here, but if Ryung hopes to do a tank push, we know how Neeb is at defending those, so I don't know. But speaking of which, he is the blue Terran to the top left. It's Ryung.
And his opponent, leading 1-0 in the bottom right side, we do have the foreign player Ting's own Yellow Protoss Neeb.
Not on a Ting clan, on some Korean.
I'm fairly sure with how chill
Korean.
Ting is, I doubt that there was something in the contract saying you need to be on clan.
Oh yeah, I don't think so. Yeah. But I do wonder what his clan tag means.
So I want to comment, by the way, lots of discussion going on about that last game. Of course, we're on a stream delay, so unfortunately we see this a little bit late. But Maynard and some others, I gotta keep dropping Maynard's name like I got a crush on him here, but he's bringing up really good points in chat. One of them is like, Ryung is such a good player. I would bet on Ryung in most situations. And he's, what's more importantly, I think even better now than he was in his Heart of the Swarm version of himself.
Oh yeah.
So
sure.
it is really impressive to see Neeb beat Ryung. I think if you said this in Haas, it wouldn't be. I don't think Ryung was doing that great last year. But in Legacy of the Void, he has really become quite the admirable Terran.
Yeah.
So that first game, again, really going back to like that flank that was set up like this, that, and the other. Lots of really cool things happening there, and lots of ways that we saw Ryung be good, but Neeb also be quite good.
There's a couple of different things in play here. It's, one, they both were probably on equal skill levels in Heart of the Swarm. Neeb was up and coming still, and was even transitioning away from Terran, so he had that going for him. And Ryung just was not performing as well as his Wings of Liberty self. Back to Imba in the round of 4 GSL, he was pretty damn good. But then they both got a lot better in Legacy of the Void. Ryung, I think, more recently than Neeb. Neeb's been kind of like that guy to watch out for the past 7 months, whereas Ryung has been that guy for the past 4 months, 5 months, I would say. But I think the added thing here is the actual matchup. Ooh, Cyclone builds. Ooh, but right, the actual matchup. What's interesting is a lot of people are looking towards the TVZ and their one opinion or another, like, do we respect the European Zergs, or do we just laugh at the European Zergs? They get beat by someone else in Shoutcraft Kings, for instance. I saw a lot of people saying, like, lol, the European Zergs and whatnot. But obviously Neeb is taking on a Korean Terran pretty well, so, like, I don't know, foreigners can be good, guys. It's like, it's true, it can happen. But the matchup itself might be where the complication really lies. As far as their equal skill level, it might be equal, but Ryung might be worse versus Protoss. Or in general, Terran might be having more trouble versus Protoss lately, even if the statistics don't really represent it. It seems to be a lot of frustration in a lot of different points in the game. A lot of it was to do with adept attacks and Colossus, but maybe returning some of that frustration. Neeb might be expecting a tank push. It's going to be a Cyclone push. And that is going to be a bit of a surprise. He scouted a 1-base build, but was unable to see exactly what type of 1-base build it was. He might have already faced this enough times on ladder, though, to be honest.
Yeah, actually, the thing I really love about the SCVs for this too, ignoring the repair factor for just a moment, and that overcharge range, depressing, right?
Yeah.
If it's Stargate opener, you can build turrets. If it's a normal opener, you can build bunkers. Like, you really are given flexibility with these SCVs to build one or the other thing. Although it's always hilarious when, unfortunately, neither work out. But
I love how quickly Neeb got this War Prism, and that almost tells me like he was expecting this specific build. Either a tank push. Well, no, he saw it was a 1-base. So yeah, I think he knew this build was on the way. I'm not sure what else you really can get against this, to be honest. You can open up with Phoenix, so I guess I lied to myself there. But if it's not Phoenix, it's a War Prison to break the lock on, plus just enough units, basically, as the Cyclone numbers don't grow that quickly.
Congratulations, you played yourself.
Yeah, right? The Widowmines are that added issue that can sometimes really be the main problem, but nice job from Neeb to clean them up immediately, even though Ryung did eventually target fire the Observer. Was not quick enough. I love that Neeb also realizes he's probably not going to be able to push this back entirely, so prepares for more pylons.
This War Prism control is so sick. It's not even about saving the low units, which he is doing, by the way. GG. That's the hardest first tap out. He broke so many lock-ons.
I have a feeling that Neeb literally plays this on Frozen Temple on the ladder all the time. It's just like, oh, this again.
I know. It's a classic Terran. God damn it.
Yeah. Alright, so just tapping out, because of course it was off of one base. It was even worse than we saw Gumio getting pushed back with his tank push. And Neeb takes the 2-0.
And that actually puts him in the finals too. So that's going to make a great series for TVP finish. A match that well, Neeb is good at, we've still seen him lose at.
Yeah, for sure. We're getting into that semifinals. We'll start off on Frost, as did this, as soon as they're ready to go. See you guys soon.